In this lecture, we're going to view the EA trading on a live trading chart. So this is the interesting part. In our previous optimization, we came up with settings that generated $1,800. And what I've done is I've loaded those settings into the input section of the EA. Furthermore, we've determined that that income could be generated using an account of only $100. So what I've done is I've actually put $100 as our initial deposit. So the next step is to run this account for the year. Now I'm going to try and do it as accurately as possible, so I'm going to use every tick basis, which will be a bit slower but more accurate. So let's do that. And away it goes, and it's going to start the test. Now after this test, we're going to run exactly the same test, but this time we're going to activate the visual mode. So what will happen is that we will see the actual transactions taking place on the trading chart, and the EA will be using the trading rules established by the settings that we have put in. So this is going to be quite interesting. Right, this test has stopped, so let's have a look at the report. And the report shows a gain of 1,830, which is more or less what we had in the optimization, and it was done on a 90% modeling quality. So we're pretty happy about this particular setting and this particular run. So we can safely go and run this in a visual mode. So that's what I'm going to do. So to run it in visual mode, we need to just make sure what the moving average settings are. I'm just going to have a quick look at them. 450 over 600. I think I've got that in already, but let's make sure. So all I do now is I tick the visual mode option, and the bar you see here is a speed bar. When it's on the far right, it goes the fastest it can, and when it's on the left, it goes the slowest that it can. I'm going to move it to the slowest because I want to set my chart up before it starts moving quickly. So I've moved it to the slowest, and I'm going to actually activate this test. So we start, and on your chart, on your screen, you can now see the EA activated plus the chart itself. I'm going to just take the grid out just to try and make it a bit clearer for you to see. Also, I'm going to add the MA because 450 and 600, that's fine, and I'm going to add that. I'm going to just condense the chart a little bit to make it clearer. There is the MA. The chart is in fact running, but it's running at its slowest pace, so it looks like it's not moving at all. But I'm going to now accelerate the pace, and then we'll see the EA working at an accelerated pace as if it's trading live. So here we go. And please bear in mind, this is a 15-minute chart, so it's going to take a long time to cover one here. We must probably not cover that much. We must probably only do 2 weeks of this period. But it's the concept that I'd like to illustrate here. Now you can see that the price moved over the moving average a number of times there. And you might be answering, but surely it should have done a transaction. But remember, we have actually told the EA, don't trade on Mondays, don't trade on Tuesdays, don't trade at times that are outside the UK open market. So that is why you'll see a lot of crossovers that are not activated. So let's just wait patiently and see what happens. Okay, it's moving there. Okay, it's actually activated a couple of transactions, done a few whipsaws, And now we have a transaction running. There is the stop, there's the target, and there's the entry. The stop has just jumped down because it became a following stop. Remember, we've got 170 pip following stop, and as the price moves towards the target, you'll see the following stop move. The price is now between the following stop and the target. So there we saw a small move going down, and obviously we're hoping that the price will hit the target. And it's trying very hard but not succeeding. Okay, there we go. It's hit the target, and we've got one successful deal, but a number of slow. Now, I'm just going to slow the process down again, slow it down to virtually nothing, and let's go and have a look at our trading account. Remember, we started our trading account with $100, so we click on the results tab, and it will actually show the trading account. Okay, so the first transaction was a loss, the second one was a loss, and the third one was a loss. Look at the sizes, not massive losses. Then it went on, and all those transactions that you see there are the following stop being adjusted as it's following the price down to the target. So that's why we saw so many transactions there. Eventually it got cashed in at the very target, made a $270 gain. So we've moved our account balance, and this is the 7th of October. So within 1 week, we've moved our account balance up over 200%. To 341. So that's the nature of this. There's a lot of losses, but there are also a lot of profits. So let's just run another couple of transactions. Unfortunately, I can't run the whole period. There's a limit on the length of lectures that Udemy allows. So we'll just run a few more transactions. So what I'll do is I'll move that fast, and I'll push this down so that we can see more clearly. Okay, there we are. Now it might take a while to reach the moving average again. In order to make the lecture more interesting, I'm going to edit out the periods that we're just waiting for transactions. Well, after a considerably long wait, we have actually generated another transaction, which has been stopped out as the price went under the moving average, and then over the top of it again. It got stopped out at looks like a very small loss. And another one gets generated, and another one gets generated. So now we have a stop down here, an entry over there, and a target over here. So let's see what happens with this particular one. Looks like there were 1, 2, possibly 3 whipsaws. Okay, so the price is starting to move in a certain direction. The stop is still, the following stop hasn't activated. Okay, the following stop has kicked in and is now above the entry level, so this is a no loss situation. It is moving up as the price is moving towards the target, and let's see what develops here. Okay, there's another positive transaction. It was a very long wait. You'll notice this is in the middle of November. We started at the beginning of October. So there are not many transactions that occur, but they do produce quite good results. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stop this lecture. I think you've got a good idea of the process of setting up the visual mode. You just click on visual and control the bar in terms of speed, and it is nice to see a transaction playing out in front of your eyes. You can run a whole year this way. This one is particularly slow because I'm using a 15-minute chart, but EAs that use 1 hour or 4 hour charts run pretty quickly. Also, this is a fantastic technique when you don't know what an EA does. What you then do is you find any you do a high level optimization, and you find any settings that are reasonably profitable, and then you run it this way, and you can then see where the decisions are being made by the EA in relation to any guidelines that the EA writer has given you, and you can then follow the decision making and visually see the EA trading. This is a must-do step for any EA purchaser or writer. Before they start trading, they must watch. You must see the EA actually trading to get a feel of what you're in for. Right, so I hope you enjoyed this lecture. It was a bit slow, but I think it gave you the idea of what is possible with this strategy tester. So we'll move on to the next lecture.